Hey, Dr. Amy Vaughn here. Today I want to talk about an issue that I've seen come up with some of my clients and just some of the people that I know, and that is this feeling of I've got this stress, this anxiety, or this increased feelings of depression, and I don't really know where it's coming from. Like, yeah, there's some stuff going on, but the intensity in which I'm experiencing these feelings just seems really out of proportion for what's going on. So, okay. And so maybe the key word that I will use for today is context. So, well, let's put life right now into context. I think one thing that we fail to remember right now is just the current situation that we're in. So about a year ago, I made a video about kind of the big changes with COVID and, things that we need to keep in mind, connection and how difficult it is because we're stressed about our family and we're stressed about our friends and finances and the global community and all of this other stuff and kind of how that is going to impact us. Many of us didn't expect to be sitting here a year later worrying and stressed about the same thing. You pair with that, other stressors that have developed. People are having to do new and difficult things like having homeschooled their kids for an entire year. I don't know how you guys are doing it. Working from home, not getting a break, political situations and social situations, and not sure how to engage and feeling like you're having to make some hard choices. Like, do I engage? Don't I engage? Feeling like I'm constantly at ends or arguing, or feeling like I'm having to shut down so I don't offend, and just a constant battle within people of trying to figure out, well, what do I do and how do I respond? So all of this stuff has been going on, right? It's all been here. It's all been cooking over the last year. And so now, we're kind of what feels like we're coming out of that. And so we've got our normal stressors that are happening, and we're noticing them as they're happening and thinking, God, man, why am I responding so strongly to that? Well, the reason is possibly that stuff is still there. It's, if you can think about all of that stuff. So, the COVID stress, the, social, political, being cooped up with your family, not being able to connect the way that you want to connect, the inability to use your coping skills to help deal with the stress. All of that is all in a big pot, and it's been cooking for an entire year. But it's under the surface. It's at a level in which people, really aren't always aware that it's there. But it is. And it's just at this slow roar, right? And so when we have other stressors that are happening, they're being kind of heated a little bit faster and a little bit hotter and a little bit higher than they usually would, because there's this other fuel that's just kind of cooking under the surface. So I think it's really important, because sometimes we get this idea of like, oh, I should just be over that already. I mean, haven't you heard that before? Just get over it already. Your bad breakup, or, the loss of, someone or something important to you, loss of a job, anything like that. Just get over it already. And we're not, though. We're not over it already. This is something we couldn't even have conceptualized, and we couldn't even conceptualize the backlash and the fallout of what this would look like. And we're still trying to figure out, what do we do with this? How do I deal with this? How do I cope with this? And how do I even meet my own needs in a situation like this, right? We're trying to answer these basic questions about how to take care of ourselves in this situation. And then when something else happens, when a stress happens, when a breakup happens, when a dispute at work happens, when my kid's not doing well in school, when something that seems like it should be small thing happens, and it feels huge, and I feel overwhelmed, and it feels like it's just a pile of stuff I can't dig myself out of. This is a moment to just say, context. Let's put this into context. Let's put how I'm feeling into context. Yes, there's this thing, right? This thing that's upsetting me, and it is legitimately upsetting me. But there's this whole other list of things over here that is also going on, that is also taking my energy, that is also taking up my mental bandwidth. You know, I'm already starting the day at a lower percentage of energy because I've exhausted so much dealing with just the day-to-day life of trying to figure out my new normal, right? So I bring this discussion up to first, hopefully normalize if some of you are struggling with why are the little things getting to me so much right now? Well, this is a definite possibility of why. And so maybe consider being a little kinder on yourself. Really taking the context of your situation, taking a step back and say, okay, yes, this thing over here is frustrating me. Yeah, that's true. But also, there is this whole other set of things that's going on. And it's valid to be frustrated. I don't have to be over this yet. Now, do I need to find coping skills, and do I need to figure out a way that I can deal with this and that I can manage and push through? Sure, you know, I mean, shutting down and just not doing and not going may not be an option. But to just say, okay, I can understand this, and now I'm in a place where I can figure out what I want to do. What kind of coping skills would be appropriate? How can I find a way through this? And if you need some help figuring out what those coping skills are and what your way through this might be, feel free to reach out. Or reach out to your support system or people that you feel like you can bounce ideas off of. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, share, and I look forward to hearing from any of you.